Alright, now what we're going to learn about is solving inequalities with absolute values. Now, in case you've forgotten, absolute values is essentially a negative killer. Say you've got -3 in here. Alright, those absolute value signs right here, pretty much when you drop those, what you're going to do is kill every negative inside there. So therefore, this is equal to just a +3. Okay? So absolute values, now if it was just a regular 4 that was in there, guess what? It stays a regular 4. It doesn't switch the sign, but it gets rid of it if it's there. Essentially, it kills the negatives. It's like a positive flower that kills all negative energy. Wow, that was the worst. Okay, so let's look at solving equations, inequalities with absolute values. All right. Now here's what you do. What you have to do is, since these absolute values are here and they can change negatives into positives, essentially you can get two answers almost every time out of stuff like this. Because if it's a negative, it'll turn to a positive and you can get an answer, and vice versa. So there's two ways you work it. Or there's not two ways you work it. There's two things. Let's just forget I just said the last few sentences. You're going to split it and work it in two different equations. Okay? You work it one time as if you drop the absolute values like they don't exist. Okay? So I just make it 2 plus 4x is less than 8. And I solve it this way. Subtract 2 from both sides. I'll get 6. Then divide 4. X is less than 1.5. Okay, I don't like fractions, which would be 6 over 4, which would reduce to 3 over 2, which is the same as 1.5. So you've got one of your answers. Okay, now you can't only do it where the absolute values don't exist, because that would only just be half of it. All right. If you just drop those and say, well, I worked it, well, what's the point of having the absolute values if you don't work it as if they'd mean anything? Do you know what I mean? They have to play some sort of purpose, or else there's no point in having them there. All right. So you work it once as if they don't exist, and then the other one you flip the inequality sign and switch the sign of your number on the other side. Okay. So this stays the same. 2 plus 4x. Now, I'm going to have to flip my sign. Now it becomes greater, and flip this, so now it becomes a -8. It's the same process you take if you divide or multiply a negative across the sign. Remember, it's not the exact same because you flip this, but the sign thing, pretend like you're switching a negative across the sign, okay? Like dividing or multiplying. I've taught y'all this before. You know this, okay? So, here we go. We would flip that and switch the sign over here, okay? And then we just solve it. Subtract 2 from both sides, so that'd be -10. And then we just divide by 4, which would be -10 over 4, which reduces to -5 over 2, which, told you, don't like the fractions, so it'll just be -2.5. So your answer is x is less than 1.5 and x is greater than -2.5. Okay? So that's pretty much it. I don't know what you want me to say to you anymore. Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for showing up. Give me a subscribe and check out tarveracademy.com. Pizza?